This is going to be video number 38 on your Firearms Defense channel. Okay, I want to make some political commentary videos. This one and the next several of them I do are going to be political commentary videos. So I'm going to start video 38 right off here. I'm going to state right up front, because I'm sure this issue will probably come up eventually if enough people watch my videos. Okay, the very first thing is, I'm not a racist and I'm not homophobic. These things, I figure, are determined at the moment of conception. In other words, somebody's sexual orientation and the color of their skin is determined at the moment of conception, and they have no control over these things. Now, I have that part out of the way, so I'm not a racist, I'm not homophobic. Now, after that, sometime or other, you have to figure, well, people behave the way they do and things are the way they are because of personal choices that they make. So after a while, you have to say to yourself, well, gee, you know, these people do make personal choices and they do have certain results. A prime example of this, a lot of liberals are all up in arms against the rich people, and they point to Beverly Hills or Brentwood or someplace like that and say, if only these people up here would share, you know, if only they would pay more taxes, if only they would help the poor more. Well, the reason Brentwood and Bel Air and Beverly Hills are like they are is because of the choices that people have made there. The people there have chosen to educate themselves, to earn a high income, to maintain their homes, to pay the taxes, to maintain the streets, to maintain their parks and stuff like that. And the people there have chosen to maintain their area as a pristine example of how people should live. Now, you go over here to Watts, you go over here to Hollenbeck, you go over to inner city Detroit, you go to the 9th Ward in New Orleans, you go to these places, they're just as bad as Haiti was before the earthquake devastated it, you know. So you look at these places and you think, well, you know, they are what they are, and if only people would help out. But the whole thing is, these places are that way because of the personal choices that people have made to maintain their living surroundings. I mean, you can't go into a school there in the inner city, you can't use the bathroom because the toilets are all plugged up, there's graffiti every place, there's trash in the gutters, and there's burned out storefronts and stuff like that from the riots that never got rebuilt. And these things are all a result of choices that people have made. And you could give a group of these people, you could move them into Beverly Hills or Brentwood, you could move the people there out and give these people their houses, and in 3 months' time, probably less, it would look just like the inner city they left. And that's just the way it is, and I'm sorry about that if anybody doesn't like it, if it's sad news, but that's just the way it is. So now I want to move on to the video number 20 that I made, and why I made it and what it's a result of. Video number 20 is a result of the police state mentality that we live in. And as some of you may also be aware, I made videos regarding the SWAT team shooting of the Mayor Chai Calvo's dogs in Berwyn Heights, Maryland. And the SWAT team is nothing but an extension of the police state mentality that pervades our nation. And I think for them guys, for the SWAT team there, it's probably still just a locker room joke to them guys. I mean, I'm sure they go into work every day, and they know when they're getting dressed in the locker room in their $2,000 worth of tactical gear, and loading up their 60-round clips for their machine guns, you know, and getting all their stuff ready to go out and beat up people. It's probably a joke to them. Guys, hey, yeah, you remember that time last year when we shot the mayor's dogs and abused them? Yeah, man, wasn't that great? Didn't we have a lot of fun? That was great. I wish we could do that with people. You know, I'm sure it's that's probably what it's like for them guys. And as I say, the SWAT team is just an extension of the police state mentality that pervades our country. Now, the reason the police state mentality pervades our country and the SWAT team is allowed to exist is they exist because of the 98% of the people out there who aren't capable of critical thought and refuse to take responsibility for themselves and their families and their children. They have the attitude of, well, we gotta fight the war against drugs because I don't want little Johnny or little Susie to use drugs, and therefore we gotta have a SWAT team to bust all these drug dealers, you know, so they don't sell drugs to my children. And well, it's too bad that the mayor's dogs got killed and they had the wrong address, but if a couple of dogs have to get killed as part of the war on drugs, well, so be it. You know, we can kill dogs all day so my kids don't use drugs, and if they get the wrong address once in a while and kill a person, that's okay too. And that's just part of the overall mentality that pervades our country, that is tolerant of the police state, and that's exactly the reason that we have it, and that's the way 98% of the people think. So, okay, I think I covered that. So that takes care of that pretty much. Now, the other thing here is, I was back in Heartland a while back, and I was talking to a Marine I know back here, and he's a firearms enthusiast. He has 100 guns. He reloads. He was getting concealed carry, and he was telling me, yeah, he says, everybody back here is getting concealed carry because they're afraid of what this guy Obama might do. Well, that's not true. It only seems like everybody's getting concealed carry. Actually, everybody isn't. Like the 15 subscribers I have on my channel so far, these guys are all part of a very, very small part of 2% of the population that's capable of critical thought. 98% of the people are sheep who will willingly accept a police state. 2% of the people are capable of critical thought. My subscribers to my channel are a very, very, very small part of that 2% who are actually willing to take responsibility for their own personal safety, who are actually willing to get concealed carry, who are actually willing to carry a weapon and take the responsibility for using it. Everybody isn't like that. They're a very, very small percent of the population. And that's why we have the continual erosion of our personal liberties and our Second Amendment rights that we do. Now, I'm 8:23, 8:20, 8:30 into this, so I'm going to stop this and cut this off right here, and I'm going to be making other political commentary videos, and I'll continue this discussion on the next one.